So we ended the last episode having caught a couple of trophies in the Nerin, and we were talking about catching the biggest of the big in Quanchkin, which we are just away to do. But I told people in the previous video that I would show them a hotspot in Texas, the starting lake. Okay. What you want to do is you want to get out your map, okay? So you hit triangle, and this is your map, okay? These are the three spots you recognize. This is the bridge. This is the one with the hut, and this is the one in the far corner, which appears at the bottom right at your starter screen, okay? You're going to want to come to this one here, next to the hut. Come up down to this side of the lake, and then you're going to want to cast into this pit where I've made this mark, okay? It's about 60 feet out, and you want to hit it maybe 40, maybe 45 inches on your leader. We're going to cast bread into this hole, and we are going to pull out young channel catfish and smallmouth buffalo. They can be caught in other parts in here as well, but I find this is the far more accurate way in this bit right here. This is the deepest part, but it's hard to reach unless you have a stronger 2 seconds. And I'm back. The joys of being at home with your parents. So, yeah, you want to cast bread down into this hole between 55 to 63 feet. I think is roughly the gap in the hole. We're using bread on a size 1 hook, fishing for catfish and smallmouth buffalo. If you want to make money, then we will be doing some largemouth bass fishing. I've covered that in some of my older videos because it is the most basic technique to make money in Fishing Planet. Yeah. Usually it is a lot more better than this. I did mention in the last video that there was one update when the fish were nerfed, they weren't biting as much. Even though that has improved for the other lakes, Lone Star is only half as good as it used to be. Okay.
Chicken that was owned by Mrs. Riley. Okay, forget the chicken. I wish I could.
Okay, that's too heavy.
Of course I'm right. What are the odds I'd be wrong twice in 1 week?
Okay, we'll put a shad on that one, we'll put a crankbait on that one, and we'll put shiners. Okay, here we go. We're going to invest a lot of money in going to Louisiana. 5,000 for 24 hours. Oh, ouch, my wallet. And thankfully, Quanchkin on this day is just going to get better and better as we go along. So we are in a good position to catch some fish. I must admit, I'm quite happy about it. Okay. I'm quite happy about it. Swampy ocean space. Catfish paradise. This is going to be quite tough. Quanchkin. This is only the second time I visited this place. And on my one trip I caught a 30-pound catfish with a lot smaller gear than what I have now. Hopefully I'm using the right depth at 45. I could go deeper if I wanted. Size 5 hook with the shiners. So this might be a little bit more tedious than the previous video because the place I found on the Nerin is a guaranteed hotspot. It is stocked with fish. It's the ultimate prime spot. Quanchkin, there probably is prime spots, but I've not had time to do the research because it costs just over $13,000 just to visit this place for a day. At least I can return for another day. You know what, we're going to try it. We're going to try, we might skip the odd hour here and there, but we're going to try and cover most of the time here. Okay. Well, I think the reason we didn't get anything is because the depth is completely wrong. Because I know for a fact we are definitely not using the right gear straight off the bat. Oh, we're at 35, that's why. I'm gonna go for 60 inches. Interesting. It looks like we've got attention straight away in this pit that we've just cast in, which I've just marked. Okay, so there was that moment, but it seems to have stopped. Oh, I jinxed it! We've got a bite. Right. First fish on our trip in this spot seems to do the trick, and shiners, always a big fish puller this. Right, we're gonna have to tighten up the reel because it won't come in. Be careful when you're tightening your reel, of course, because if you do it too much, then you'll snap the line. So always have a strong reel. I have to change the line on this soon. It looks like a catfish. I can't tell. It might be a gar. Could be a gar on my first cast. It's got a weird fin. I'm not sure if you've seen it. Right, let's see if we can get a look at it here. It's right under the surface. Good grief. Right, this rod is designed to take on 20-pound fish, so if it's struggling, this fish is above 20 pounds. So this is a perfect start when we're talking about catching trophy-sized fish. If it's a flathead, this is bigger than 20 pounds. If this is a gar, it looks weird. It doesn't look like it. Actually, it does look a bit like a catfish. Okay, we've almost got it. We've got it. We've got first catch. It's a catfish. Oh yes. It's not a trophy, but by God, look at the length of that fish. Look at the length of it. We're going to get a photo with this one, because I just need to check something. Because I mentioned in the last video about how the length of these fish are quite similar. So this is 3 pounds smaller than my record. Well, my personal best. That was 49.5 inches. So this fish is nearly a foot longer than my personal best, but it weighs 3 pounds less. Okay, so the fish here seem to be, well, this one anyway seems to be a lot longer than it is heavy. I'd like to mention again, another important factor with that, and why I'm mentioning the length, is that it'll be stressful on the line, but long fish have very powerful tails and can dart away very easily. That's why lake trout and Atlantic salmon can be. So we're going right back into spot, and I fucked it. I don't need to do that anyway. I'm not an amateur. I can cast. There we go. There we go. Right on the spot again. So over 9 inches longer than a 30-pounder, and it was 29. So that means the trophies in this could be very hard for me to reel in. Oh well, we've caught one fish. Wasn't a total waste of time. But because we're planning on staying here a while, I'm not going to keep everything. If we end up with a lot of trophies, then the smaller ones will be released. Because we'll keep the XP, but we'll make more money from freeing up space. Maybe fill it with some largemouth bass. They usually rake in quite a profit. Right, we're going to keep it tight so we can keep a track of it a bit better. Okay, it's not wanting to hook. Right, it's hooked, it's hooked. Okay, this isn't so bad. This one coming in at a good rate. Standard whip, expand and then capitalize on that brief slack that you cause. Seems to be working. Easy technique, good for hauling in fish. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on. Couple more feet. There we go. And it's another catfish. 26 pounds. It's not what we want. We're going to put him back.
What's this cartoon called again? Oshikuru Demon Samurai. It's not a cartoon. It's anime. Anime. You know, I knew a girl in high school named Anime. Anime Fletcher. She was born with one nostril. Then she had this bad nose job and basically wound up with three. You're here a lot now. Oh, am I talking too much?
Okay, let's try a crankbait now. We're going to try some different. We're using the big gear. Got a couple of decent ripples. I think I know how to work this, but I may not be the best.
Yeah.
Right.
Hold on, let me take this in the hall.
This is on my strongest rod. This is the equipment that you use for catching the big ones.
Okay. I know what you're doing. Really? Yes. You're using chocolates as positive reinforcement for what you consider correct behavior. Very good. Sheldon, you can't train my girlfriend like a lab rat. Actually, it turns out I can. Well, you shouldn't. There's just no pleasing you, is there, Leonard? You weren't happy with my previous approach to dealing with her, so I decided to employ awkward conditioning techniques, building on the works of Thorndike and B.F. Skinner. Yet by this time next week, I believe I can have her jumping out of a pool, balancing a beach ball on her nose. No, this has to stop now. I'm not suggesting we really make her jump out of a pool. I thought the bazinga was implied. I'm just tweaking her personality. It's sanding off the rough edges, if you will. No, you're not sanding any. Are you saying that I am forbidden from applying a harmless, scientifically valid protocol that will make our lives better? Yes, you're forbidden. Bad, Leonard. So what do you guys do? Oh, you know, goth stuff, goth magazines, goth music, goth food. What's goth food? Blackened salmon? No, I meant what do you do for jobs? Oh, we're scientists. So yeah, you know, the dark sciences. What are the dark sciences? Well, I am an astrophysicist, and a lot of that takes place at night. When there are vampires and miscellaneous undead out and about. That sounds really cool. Does it? Okay, if you like space stuff, I design components for the International Space Station, which is in space. Whereas I'm sure you know, no one can hear you scream. So what do you guys do? I work at the Gap. Really? How about that? I've been to the Gap. I've been there as well. I like your t-shirts with the little pockets. I work there too. Not that anyone cares. You know, this place is boring. Yeah. Why don't we go somewhere else and have some fun? Okay, sure.
Right, fish on. This is the first time I've ever hooked something on crankbait. If it's going to be like a largemouth bass, I'm going to be so disappointed.
Did you bring a black condom?
It's also the first time I've hooked something on this rod. Yeah, it's not a big fish. It's kind of a pain to use this actually. There's quite a lot of technique on going into it to try and get it to sink. Let's see what we got here. Ah, blue catfish. Ah, I've only ever caught one of these before, and it was a trophy. So this is my second ever blue catfish. Okay. So, as it turns out, over there is where the flatheads are good, and over here is where the blue catfish are good. So this starting area on the right hand side of the map, definitely a catfish zone, for sure. See, this is interesting. It's just such an interesting technique. I don't understand how this works with catfish, because they're so slow.
Sorry guys, that girl is freaky.
Come again?
Freaky.
Freaky?
Yeah, freaky.
Have a chocolate.
Thank you.
Are you seriously going to deface your body just for the possibility you're going to achieve sex with a strange girl?
Oh, I'm stuck in the weed. This is such a bizarre way of fishing. I must say it's good. I mean, it adds a little bit of extra suspense, but again, I add, how can catfish possibly like this? Well, all evidence shows, because we've caught one, an 18-pounder, which this rod made it look like that it looked like I was fishing for largemouth, and it just hauled in this 18-pound fish. If something big takes this rod, if I have a fight, guys, I'm onto a big fish with this rod. It'll be easily over 30 pounds if it fights on this rod. Ugh. It's been a fairly good start, I suppose, that we've caught 2 fish. This will be definitely a tedious mission. We've only passed 1 hour of the 24, and we've caught 2 fish. At that rate, we will actually definitely fill the net, considering the fishing is only going to get better as we go along, and the biggest blue catfish come out at night. And now we know a place where they definitely are.
Not that anyone cares.
At night time, that's when some of the biggest fish in the game come out in this lake. It's definitely worth staying.
Retell the story. Let's end it differently. What are you thinking? Maybe a big musical number? I'm going to make some warm milk when you turn in. I trust that you two are planning on engaging in amorous activities. You'll keep the decibel level to a minimum.
Of course.
Thank you.
So good.
Unbelievable.
What?
I was just thinking we should probably turn into.
Well, my new bed got delivered. If you come over and put it together, you can stay at my place.
Really? That's a lot of work and it's kind of late.
Yeah, but if we stay there, we won't have to be quiet.
works even better than chocolate to modify behavior. I wonder if anyone else has stumbled onto that. Okay, wait, how about this? We say there were 4 goth girls. The 2 girls in the club had 2 friends. I like it, I like it. Did they smell good despite their godlike nature? What's that got to do with the story? Engaging my olfactory sense helps make it real for me. Fine, they smelled good. Oh, they did, like jasmine and honeysuckle. Whatever. And then they held hands and did a sexy demonic hokey pokey for us. No, look, let me just say my story all the way through.
Okay.
And say yours and then we'll pick. I'm sorry, go on. We got tattoos, and then the 4 girls took us to their place. But we don't have tattoos. What if someone asks to see our tattoos? We said they're in a very intimate area. Oh, we are bad boys, aren't we? Right. So we go back to their place, and then the 6 of us end up in a hot tub. But we just got tattoos. Wouldn't we be concerned about bacterial infection? True. Okay, forget the hot tub. The point is, we each had a menage with sexy goth girls. Wow. What a great night. Yeah. Hey, wanna try a country bar tomorrow night? Yeah, maybe we'll get lucky with some sexy cowgirls. Could happen. I wonder how they smell.
Well, I must admit, even though this is, I've been told is a good way of catching blue catfish, gone quite quiet. Maybe I should have taken a bigger crankbait. Right now, nothing interesting at the moment.
This movie baffles me every time we watch it. What do you mean? The instructions are very clear. Don't feed the gremlins after midnight. Don't get the gremlins wet. How hard is that?
Hi, guys. Hi, honey. Hey.
We're honey now, are we? Yes. Since their relationship became carnal, Penny has upgraded his designated term. Distinguishing him from those she calls sweetie, usually an attempt to soften a thinly veiled insult.
You're boring people, sweetie.
Although sometimes she omits the veil entirely.
So, what are you guys doing?
Celebrating Columbus Day.
So we've upgraded the hook from a size 5 to a size 8, and we're going back to the flathead zone just to see if,
Okay.
well, if the bigger hook will make the slight difference.
Oh, you know, that
And I
reminds
wonder
me.
what else will work.
Thanksgiving, but this year they're calling it off on account of my brother's trial.
What's he on trial for?
Oh, just a big misunderstanding. You know, you'd actually like my brother. He's kind of a chemist. Anyway, I was thinking I'd have Thanksgiving here, and you are
If I make $10,000,
Will you be serving cranberry jelly or cranberry sauce?
I may have to leave again anyway
Guess?
after this to get a bigger crankbait. We'll have to see.
I could, Penny, but every year my mother has all the relatives over and cooks up her famous Terbriskafil.
her briscafil.
Turkey stuffed with the brisket stuffed with gefilte fish. It's not as good as it sounds.
Raj, what about you?
Oh, usually comes to my house, right, Mel? Right, this year you don't have to eat the Terbriskafil. I don't even chew it, I swallow it like pickles.
Okay, something is interested in our pretty big bait on a big hook. I thought that was the float for a second there, but it was a fly flying across the screen in the game. That's rather irritating. Oh, it's a slow descent. Something on a size 8 hook.
Well, the good news is he has no problem with my
However,
Terbriskafil.
Hard to believe, but go on.
The bad news is he says he's getting deported. What do you mean he's forwarded. I believe it means he could then either return to his native India, immigrate to another country that's fully...
Looks like it's not as big as we were kind of hoping for with upgrading the hook. It is a flathead.
Personally, I choose pirate. Hey, would you like something?
10 more feet to go.
Fine.
There we go.
He needs to work on his girl issues.
Another reason to consider a life of piracy. Even today, I understand that's an all-male profession.
Yeah, the fish here are definitely longer. 4.5 pounds smaller than my personal best, and 8 inches longer.
Sorry, I lost my cool. So, what's going on? Okay, here's the deal. 6 months ago, my research testing the predicted composition of trans-Neptunian objects ran into a dead end. So my visa's only good as long as I'm employed at the university. When they find out I've got squat, they're going to cut me off. By the way, when I say squat, I mean diddly squat. I wish I had squat. So, wait, what have you been doing for the past 6 months? You know, checking email, updating my Facebook status, messing up Wikipedia entries. Did you know Netflix lets you stream movies on your computer now? And you continue to take the university's money under false pretenses? Highly unethical for an astrophysicist. Or practically mandatory for a pirate. I don't want to go back to India. It's hot and loud and there's so many people. You have no idea. They're everywhere. Okay, guys, think. How do we keep Raj in the country?
Why doesn't he just get another job?
You're asking me for? I don't know if you can talk now or not. Oh, Beef. I'm gonna miss you so much. You know at the Mumbai McDonald's you can't get a Big Mac? All you can get is the chicken Maharaja Mac. And the special sauce? Curry. Which in India, believe you me, is really not that special. Don't worry, you'll find another job. Yeah, let me start practicing for it. Do you want fries with that Maharaja Mac? Hi, Leonard. Hello, Raj. Hi, Sheldon.
Okay,
Forgive me if you
we found a little pit here that we're going to try and fish in.
you're either sad or nauseated.
Okay, so this isn't a catfish hotspot, but it is a ditch. It is a deep pit, and fish in lakes like the pits.
Oh, Beefaroni. I think I'll miss you most of all.
Something's twitching.
I've always been a little confused about this. Why
Size 8 hook might be a bit overkill considering we don't know what we're going to get here. Then again, the line is
take you all I swear to God.
well, it's being pulled to the left actually. Being pulled out of the ditch, now being pulled away from me.
Entire life seems to be crumbling around you, and your future appears bleak at best. Thank you. You're wrong about Hinduism and cows. Raj, guess what? Professor Lawson is looking for someone to join the Stellar Evolution research team. You're kidding? That's fantastic. Come on, what are you waiting for? Call him and set up an interview. I want it. Fantastic, right? Yeah. Nailed it. Come on in. I was surprised to hear you interested in joining our little team. Giving up on those trans-Neptunian objects, are we? No, it's a very promising area. In a perfect world, I'd spend several more years on it. But I just couldn't pass up the opportunity to work with you on your tremendously exciting and not yet conclusively disproved hypothesis. Splendid. Please sit down. Come off your sherry. It's a little early, isn't it? Hold on, Proxima Centauri. That's very good. Purely amusing. But if you don't mind, I'll hold off until sunset on Titan. Well done. I have a feeling you're going to fit in just fine, Dr. Kukrapali. Thank you, sir.
I'm sorry.
Okay, something took a size 8 hook in this little ditch.
I present Dr. Bilstein from MIT.
It's a channel catfish.
It's nice to meet you.
It's the biggest damn channel catfish I've ever caught. Good God. Look at the size of this thing. Okay, let me put in perspective, people. The biggest one of these I've ever caught before was 7 pounds. My God.
Allow me to correct for the observation of the
Nearly double the size. A trophy channel catfish.
Would you like to hear more about it in my hot tub? So when do I start? What do you mean you didn't get the job? How could you not get it? You know, he's British, I'm Indian. Ever since Gandhi, they haven't liked us very much. Are you saying that he discriminated against you? Because we should file a complaint. That's okay. Complaint's been filed. That's it. That was my last hope. I'm gonna be deported, sent home in disgrace, exposed to the sardonic barbs of my cousin Sanjay, or as you may know him, Dave from AT&T Customer Service. I'm gonna miss you.
Okay, so we found another hotspot for a type of catfish.
17-hour flight.
Okay, we're being dragged out again. That's good.
Halfway 600 miles up the coast of Japan. Tell you what, we'll Skype. Gentlemen,
Oh, what's this then?
did you get the job of Professor Laughlin? No. I assumed as much, but never fear. Like the subordinate male protagonist in countless action movies who disappears.
Wow.
Real, I have
Another trophy. Well, this is a little unexpected.
met by cheers.
But I'll happily take that all day long.
Gamma rays from dark matter.
Good lord.
It occurred to me that I invented this. How many reels before the subordinate male protagonist gets to his point? I'm sorry, you didn't cheer at my entrance. It's too late to buy into the premise.
I just want to have a look at something here.
Anyway, I got some extra money from the head of the department.
Catfish.
Can come work for me.
A top end size of 57 I don't think so.
You're going to have to listen more.
Between 10 to 20 pounds.
Okay, please don't take this the wrong way, but I'd rather swim buck naked across the Ganges with a paper cut on my nipple and die a slow, agonizing death from a viral infection than work with you. For me. Sheldon, are you busy? Of course I'm busy. Should I wait? Yes, please. How may I help you? I've reconsidered your offer to let me work with you. For me. Yes, for you. I do, however, have a few conditions. First, at all times, I'm to be treated as a colleague and an equal. Second, my contributions shall be noted in all published materials. And third, you are never allowed to lecture me on Hinduism or my Indian culture. I'm impressed, Raj. Those are very cogent and reasonable conditions. Thank you. I reject them all. Give me no choice. I accept the job. I'm sorry. I believe you've misunderstood. I'm not giving you the job. I'm simply affording you the opportunity to apply for it. Have a seat. Get started with me. What? Please. All right. So. That's what you wear to an interview? Come on, dude. We've been friends for years. Oh, pulling strings, are we? Sure, for God's sakes, don't make me beg. Bazinga. You've fallen victim to another one of my classic practical jokes. I'm your boss now. You may want to laugh at that.
I think this one might be a little bit short.
Nice having the place to ourselves, isn't it?
Now that Raj is working for Sheldon, I don't have to show them around anymore. Plus, yeah, with them working late so much, we get some privacy.
Hey. Wanna get a little crazy?
What are you thinking?
Let's slide over to Sheldon's spot and make out.
You are a dirty girl.
Oh God, how did he know?
Hello.
Yeah, definitely cast that a little bit too shallow. So we're going to go for one more cast here for the channels, and then we're going to go back looking for the bigger fish.
You know, whatever. Okay, I guess I can hang for a little while. So, what are we watching? Sex and the City, yikes.
Hey, I happen to love this movie.
Fine, let's watch it. Maybe all our periods will synchronize. Alright, we're going to be designing an experiment to look for the annihilation spectrum resulting from dark matter collisions in space. Ooh, dark matter. We better bring a flashlight. I was making a joke. I'm the boss. I make the jokes. Sorry, go ahead and make your joke. This is not the time for joking. We're doing serious research which requires complete and utter focus. Alright, let's buckle down and work. What? I need an aspirin. Comcast drawer. Thank you. Alright, yes, good. That was fun.
Okay. Okay.
Say thank you every time we have sex.
If this is a channel it wants to run.
Tomorrow you're gonna get a card in the mail, just throw it away.
Okay. So something slightly bigger in the hole than the trophy channels we've been catching.
What are you doing here?
It's not coming in.
On Sundays I go with
I have to go full tension without
farmers market.
snapping the line. It's the only way to get this thing in.
Over here and make you guys scrambled eggs and salami.
Oh, good God.
It's the perfect meal for après l'amour.
Oh, no. Okay, we've hooked something good. We've hooked something pretty... And I think we're just a way to catch it. Come on. Here we go. Yes. Is that a channel? Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, we have caught a unique channel catfish. And this is more than double of the size of the one that just doubled my previous record. This is a super fish. This is a super fish. Super channel catfish, 30-pounder. Oh, I'm happy with this catch. Very, very happy with this catch. My word, what a fish. Look at that. Good grief. Right, well, we're going to try and make up some room now if we're going to catch unique channels. So we're going to release these two flatheads. Because clearly the catfish are better value, the channel catfish. A unique channel.
No. That rate is much too low for what we expect from this collision. Do you understand we're talking about dark matter colliding in outer space? Of course I understand it. Who are you to tell me about outer space? Well, I'm the astrophysicist. Astro means space. Astro means star. Okay, well, let me just tell you, if we were having this argument in my native language, I'd be kicking your butt.
The biggest unique catfish seem to be in St. Croix. So these are the potential uniques that are out there, 60 pounders. This Ozic guy, he's I must admit, I am incredibly impressed with that unique. I knew we were going to be trophy hunting, as I said, and uniques are definitely the rare ones. But my god, I've had quite a smashing couple of videos today, almost breaking my flathead record. Of course, catching a couple of flatheads that are longer. Oh crap, what's going on? What happened there? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hate to keep you waiting, but I'm going to have to depart for a brief second. So just bear with me. We'll be back soon. Actually, I may be able to hold off.
I have a question. Warlord beats Troll. Troll beats Elf. Elf beats Water Sprite. Basically, everything beats Enchanted Bunny. Unless you have a Q power. Okay, I've got another question.
Right.
Most recently, last year during lunch on the afternoon of May 7th. You had turkey, you complained it was dry. I guess game's over.
Really? Oh, great. I mean, okay, I gotta go. What? Because last time I didn't go, I ended up playing Mystic Warlords and Caw.
Not Caw, Ka-ah.
But
Okay. Sorry, I was messaging a friend. I'm chuffed. To be honest, I'm still speechless that I've caught my first unique channel catfish. I really had no idea these were hot spots which I was casting into. This is just going off my basic logic that the deep spots hold the big fish. And I haven't found the massive flatheads as we have seen on the leaderboard. But my goal is to catch one of those blue catfish. Unless I have to go to St. Croix. Okay, we're in. Okay, small fish. Well, I say small, it's another trophy. Well, we're very happy with this conversion rate of catching trophies. It's easy money, and it's good business. Okay, the good news is if even without filling the net, we can still do pretty damn well here. Right, so I am actually going to just watch a quick video just now and try to find out where the best spot to look for the alligator gar is. Okay. Okay, we're experimenting a little bit with depth, which seems to be... Okay, we're going to use the crank bit. We're definitely wanting to catch one of these gar. It's probably unlikely. Okay, so we're not finding much in this spot at the moment. We have had half decent success so far since going on the trophy hunt. So what have I caught so far, you may ask? We have caught quite a few things. We've got a couple of the flatheads, which are actually longer here than they are in the Nerin, despite being a little bit lighter. We have caught a bog standard sized channel catfish for this place, quite a few trophies, a blue catfish on the crankbait, which I'm using at the moment, and we caught an incredible 30-pound unique channel catfish about 5-10 minutes ago. That was an insane fish. Put up a hell of a fight. But right now we're using the big rod with the big crankbait in an attempt to try and catch a big fish. I did say I was going to take a quick break, but I've got a little bit caught up. Because I'm just wanting to catch one of these big fish, and I'm kind of getting a hang of the crankbait. It is a little bit awkward, but it's not the most complicated thing in the world. Oh, okay.
Role-playing games?
Like in the bedroom or like Dungeons and Dragons?
Either.
No.
It's gonna be a long night. Well, it's your fault. I had to ask. You didn't have to say yes. You like magic?
Not really.
Okay.
Okay, we're in. Straight back into the place where the flatheads are common. We're in. Not giving us a huge tug of war though, so it's not a massive, oversized fish. Probably a half decent one. We're going to tighten up the reel just to keep us going. Oh, we've got a good bit there. Get it out of the weed. Definitely a catfish. You can see its tail flailing about there. Staying quite high to the surface. Come out. It's got a big tail.
I use them. I don't like them.
Puppies. Where do you stand on puppies?
Puppy ones bit my face.
Not bad, not bad. It's the longest one I've caught, but not the heaviest. Still 4 pounds lighter than my best. It's definitely the longest. It's a big fish. We're going to keep it for now.
It's orange. She might be dying. One of his stats. On the other hand, if I let it go to impulse, I could go through.
I know how you feel. My mother makes me crazy.
Not as crazy as my mother makes me.
Oh yeah? Does your mother call you every day at work to see if you had a healthy lunch?
My mother calls me at work to see if I have a healthy bowel.
You will. Does she lay out your clothes for you in the morning like you're 9 years old?
With your mother?
No. That's the sad part.
Okay, check this out. My mother made me wear rubber gloves to kindergarten so I wouldn't pick up a disease from the other children.
That's nothing. I couldn't ride a bicycle because my mother was afraid I'd hit a bump and lose my virginity.
Oh, wow. You didn't, did you?
Not on a bicycle. In a cage.
Yeah, there we go.
You have to come to Shabbos dinner at my house sometime.
Why?
A Catholic girl like you wearing a big cross like that might just give my mother the big brain aneurysm I've been hoping for.
Okay. Another one which is coming in.
Sunday dinner at my house wearing a yarmulke.
It's a date.
Am I a matchmaker or what?
Crap. So this one doesn't want to come up to the surface. It's not very flathead like. They usually like to make a big deal of themselves.
Underworld Guardian. We skirmished to the death. Weird stuff. Luminescent spell. Water nymph. Fire demon. Two-headed tiger. Three-headed lion. Sulfur. Brimstone. Vomit, Willie.
26 pounder.
Two moderate stone cones, a small rock, and a potion of Xancor, which will be about a wet-house air conditioner on the ice planet Hoth.
Your only move is to play the potion, lose the skirmish, and 2 moves later, the game. It's got me. The year was 1995. The place, Jackson, Mississippi. Having spent 10 hours on a bus, during which I had to twice violate my personal rule against relieving myself on board a moving vehicle. I finally arrived.
So we're catching average size flatheads. Not my ideal scenario. I want to be catching significantly bigger fish than 26 pounds. I'll be back in a sec. Yeah, catching the big channel catfish was the only real plus side. We're already looking to make a profit though. We've already earned over $5,000 worth of fish. The net's not even half full. We had the little knock about a minute ago. It's been dead since. Send a couple of ripples into it. A bigger one. Let's keep it tight. Okay, getting tight. What should we go for?
Leonard, look, if you want to meet my friends, that would be great.
Okay, we're going to try a new combination to go after red drum. I've said it too deep.
People cut back on the beer. You could get out of the bathroom and satisfy women without pharmaceutical help. Wash, what are you doing here? You're supposed to help me pick out my restaurant. Sorry, are you under the impression that we're still friends? Come on. You're not still grinding on the kite thing, are you? It's not just the kite thing. Every time we go someplace, you need to be just dusty whenever someone's radio comes along, even though you don't have a shot with them. I've had a shot with that jogger. Right. Beat green flames in a little scooter with her. It's not a little scooter. It's the second biggest Vespa they make.
It's quite a deep spot. Fishing for big red drum. I think the biggest one I've caught is a good couple of pounds.
It's football nomenclature for when a quarterback is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Huh. Scrimmage. The line of scrimmage is the imaginary first line separating the offense from the defense. Oh. Sheldon knows football? Apparently. I mean, Quidditch, sure, football? Sheldon, how do you know this stuff? I grew up in Texas. Football is ubiquitous in Texas. Pro football, college football, high school football, pee-wee football. In fact, every form of football except the original, European football. Unless Texans believe to be a commie plot. Unbelievable. If you're interested, I also know all about frying meat that isn't chicken as if it were chicken. So, you could teach me? Football or chicken fried meats? Football.
Okay, fish on.
Their friends, and I don't want to
Lure just disappeared.
want to blend in with Denny's friends. I think looking like an idiot would be the perfect camouflage. Come on, Sheldon, please teach me football. It'll be fun. That's exactly
Okay, we're looking at a fish at least 7 pounds. Maybe 10.
the time I was 5 until I went off to college. Longest 7 years of my life. Please, I'm asking you as a friend. Are you making this a tier 1 friendship request? Yes.
We're looking for it's a drum. Straight off the bat, it's a not quite the unique we were looking for, but it's a trophy, and we are trophy hunting after all. So that is a trophy red drum. Okay, we need to get into that deep bit a little bit more easily. So we're going to put on a heavier float so we can cast further. And we're going to put on a bigger hook to increase the chances of a big fish, only ever so slightly.
Football at Denny's? What's wrong with a football jersey? Nothing. That, however, appears to be a football cocktail dress. It's the smallest size they had, except the ones for dogs. I can't believe they have one for dogs. Oh, yes. Canine football fans are a common sight in Texas. Cats, however, refuse to wear sporting apparel.
Maybe we cast a little bit too far out this time. I don't remember how far we went for the first cast to catch that red drum. So once again, we find ourselves casting just to the left of the tree where we found the blue catfish spot, which of course is west. So basically, that buoy I've made on the left, this is our red drum spot. That tree to the right of it, the tall tree to the right of it, aim in that direction for the blue catfish channel, as it's called, and the flathead catfish hotspot is by that buoy on the far right, and I mean far right, behind my, behind all of my stats stuff. Okay, I'm reeling in a little bit because we're not even attracting a little bit of attention at the moment. Alright. Here we go, second fish from this new spot. But is it a drum? Whatever it is, it's pretty small. It's not even... Yeah, we're not even getting any resistance. This is just coming right in. And it's a largemouth bass. Oh no, it isn't. It's a trophy spotted bass. Another trophy. Well, this one was caught a little bit by accident. But I suppose these are spread throughout the whole lake. Spotted bass. The best fish to catch in Lone Star, Texas. In the game. I don't really know what the fishing is like in Texas in real life. Right. Maybe a little bit too far. Ugh.
Oklahoma coach has thrown down a red flag if he can't even challenge him to do it on the field. Hope he's right, because if he's not, it'll cost him one of his 3 timeouts. I'll watch the end of the game. Besides, there's only 3 minutes left.
Until halftime.
This is just half. We've been here for hours.
We're gonna be here for a couple more.
You're kidding me.
No.
Nice meeting all of you.
Leon, right, that's my boyfriend. He is really smart.
Have you met my sister yet? Thank you. My pleasure. Maybe after lunch we can go to Marie Callender's and have some pie. I like that. Turning up your book is back with you. Sure. I'm glad. Oh, did you see the way she smiled at me? Fine, go ahead. No? This is our day? You want to chase after her, chase after her. Oh, who am I kidding? I wasn't shot with a girl like that. Don't put yourself down. You're a very attractive man. What's that? Oh, really? It wouldn't do you to get blood starting me now and then? It's sort of wiry appeal. Well, it doesn't matter if she wasn't really smiling at me. Actually, in this case, I think she was. But, yeah, bye. What a douche.
It's gone quite quiet. Well, fishing for drum hasn't exactly worked so far. It hasn't been consistent. We've sent out 4 or 5 casts. We've hauled in 2 fish. One was a trophy, but not unique as what I had baited to catch was the uniques. But I'll take the trophy, obviously. And then trophy spotted bass. But since then, it's been fairly dead.
We must not be planning right.
Right, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I forgot I had an appointment tonight, so I'll have to cut this episode in half as originally planned and show the rest of it at a later date.
You're a natural at this, Penny, and as the first beta testers, you two have quite the edge when we play the quality on Sunday. Oh, geez, Sheldon, I don't think we can play on Sunday. Why not? Because of the reasons that Penny will now tell you, Penny.
Actually, I have to pick up my friend Justin from the airport.
There you go. You have to pick up our friend Justin at the airport, and I can't play because I'm going with her, right?
Alright, so let's see how we're doing. We're now sitting at 6 grand. Oh. Oh yeah, we're gonna go fishing for the big ones, but we're gonna continue it later. So we are gonna leave after having played almost 5 in-game hours at Quanchkin. We have caught $6,000 worth of fish, having invested 13,000. We're not interested in making a profit, we're interested in breaking even, and more importantly, we're more important in catching the decent fish like the unique we have recently caught, which I am very happy with. Right, well, good start. Caught some good fish. We'll see you later. In fact, I should probably mention before we go, tonight, the continuation of this will be on an episode called Cockeyed Pigs Play Games, episode 2. It's when me and my mates will be playing various games, just hanging out and having banter and talking about whatever may. Right now, we're currently in the middle of playing some Warband playthroughs, and of course, we will be finishing our trip at Quanchkin. Thank you for tuning in for what's been out so far today. I've tried to produce the best fishing spots that I could. We've definitely caught some interesting fish, and I've definitely shown you some good techniques and the right gear to use it. So everyone take care, and I will speak to you soon.